Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon if it's afternoon where you are. Good evening if it's nighttime over there. Welcome to another episode of Magical Collectibles Sunday. And today we have Travis joining us.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody is warm because it's like freezing everywhere right now.
Yes, I mean it's definitely freezing here in New Jersey. It is 21 degrees. I just got a message from Christian. He was like asking me, like, is your hair not ready? You know what? Sort of. Like my hair is like my bangs are way too long for the last couple of Sundays. I've had to like pin them on the side, but I'm hoping to get a haircut soon. So
I wouldn't be able to notice, but I think it looks great.
well thank you. So yeah, so anyway, it is freaking cold here. It is 21 degrees here in New Jersey where I'm at. How cold is it in Orlando right now or in Florida right now, Travis?
I was outside a little bit ago. It was like 45, so not horrible, but not good for a Floridian like me. I can't deal with it. Like if it goes under 70, I'm not having it.
Yeah, you know what? We spent Christmas 2020 in Disney World.
Okay,
And Christmas Day, it was like in the 30s. I was like, where the
really?
heck am I? This is like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
Why
that's
is
like
it?
a rarity because I remember oftentimes like going to the beach on Christmas Day and it was like warm outside. So that's crazy. It was that cold.
Yeah, like oh my gosh, like when we spent Christmas in Walt Disney World a little over a year ago, it was colder in Orlando than it was in New Jersey, which is a lot to say.
That is a lot. That's crazy.
Um, but yeah,
You brought
and
it
then
down with you. You brought that weather down with you.
apparently, and they like see you all bundled up with like your jacket and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
like I was like,
Not
oh
used to
my
it.
gosh. Yeah, I bet. Now I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Jody and Laura, good morning. MacDorks Christian, good morning. Christian, whenever you want, I can always send you an invite. Just let me know. We miss you. And Michael too, of course. Um,
Of course.
and Lauren, good morning. So good to see you here. How are you? And hey, Nick, good morning. So, yeah, super cold here, super cold there, cold everywhere. No fun. So, I am hoping for some warmer weather soon. When do they, have you heard of that the Hoxotani Phil, like Groundhog Day type of thing? Is this more like an East Coast type of thing?
I mean, I've
Like
heard
a
of the Groundhog Day. I'm not really sure what you mean.
no, or okay, so maybe it's not Groundhog Day. Well, anyway, so here in New Jersey and in Pennsylvania, guys, like if you're from the East Coast, Laura, help me out with this because I might not have the full story. But like they do this thing where I think it's Poxitani Phil, which is like a groundhog.
Okay.
They pull him out. I forget what time, what day, and I think it's if he sees his shadow. Something about whether he sees his shadow or not. It will determine whether like spring is coming early or not.
Right.
Laura, help me with this. I don't know the whole story. I got like bits and pieces. They're just probably watching like, girl, get your facts right. So anyway, so it's something about that, like it's like, if the grand hope sees his shadow, I think it's like, all right, yeah, she says yes, Melissa. Come on, tell me. Okay, Nick says it's February 2nd. Guys, help me. So you guys tell me and then we'll share the story. But my point with that story, which I don't know the details of, is that I cannot wait for warmer weather and for spring to get here. Like I literally took down my Christmas tree yesterday
Okay.
and
All
all
right.
and the rest of
Do
the
you
Christmas.
do you do real Christmas tree
No, we do.
artificial?
Well, we usually do real, and then in the
Okay.
last, I feel like 5 or 6 year, we've been doing an artificial tree.
Because the
But I mean,
animals
it's
or
huh?
because of like the dogs and stuff or
Oh, the tree. It's because it's easier to just have a tree that's already good to go, and then once
gotcha,
I'm done,
gotcha,
I'll just put it away and I'll pull it
gotcha.
out again,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it's just easier and less cleaning to do.
Sure.
So yeah, it just worked out, and the tree that we got was like pre-lit, so it's just a lot more convenient. So
Yeah.
we've been doing that. So, but I took it down yesterday, and now the house is decorated for Easter.
Dang, you're on top of it. You're on
I'm,
top of
I'm,
it.
I'm trying. There's been times where my Christmas tree is still up for like Valentine's Day. So this year I was like, no, it's gonna come down in January, even if it's like the last couple days of
When you
January.
when you decorate for Christmas, when do you start like decorating? Like right after
So,
Halloween or like when does it
so
happen?
it depends on how like pumped I am and how much time I have. So we typically host Thanksgiving at our house. So I the last couple of years I've been putting up the tree for like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would say either on right before Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving, I'll try to put up the tree. So that's typically how I do. And then because we also
Gotcha.
celebrate Three Kings Day on January 6th, it
Okay.
typically stays up a little longer than, most people. But yeah, let me see. I think so Laura says if he doesn't see his shadow, the groundhog, there is more winter.
Gotcha.
Okay. Christian says if he doesn't see his shadow, that means there is more winter. There you go, guys. 6 more weeks. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Christian says I was already typing it. Yes. Oh my gosh. I decorated for Easter. I mean, not a whole lot, but like I I have like these little trees with like little hanging Easter eggs and just kind of make it more like spring like.
Yeah.
Uh so yeah, and at least I know I can leave that set up at least for a few months because isn't like Easter in April?
I haven't checked for this year. I haven't checked.
Something like that. So it's either March or April because I
Right.
figure if I decorate for Valentine's Day and take it out or take it down in like a couple weeks. So
Right. You can just throw a couple Valentine's Day elements in there, put a heart somewhere with Easter stuff next to an egg or whatever. I don't know.
there you go.
Sprinkle a little bit in there.
Do you guys decorate for Easter?
We we used to. We have Easter decorations. Our main ones are like Halloween, Christmas. Um, but we have decorations for all of it. So it just depends on how Stacey's usually pretty good with like decorating and stuff like that. She gets super pumped for like Halloween and Christmas. And then it just depends on how she feels if she wants to like because I gotta go and get it all down and she gotta put it all up. So
You see, here I decorate and I also take it down. But this year, there's been he took care of the outside, so he put up
right.
lights on the outside and
That's
the
me. I'm the
snowman.
outside man, right.
So yeah, so this year he took care of that and he took it down. So I did all the inside, the tree, the little knickknacks around the house.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm really pumped. I'm really looking forward to spring, and I've been really getting into like plants lately. Like it's just very relaxing.
Sweet.
So yeah, like anyway, it's huge squirrel moment there, right there. But but yeah, I mean, today we're gonna try to probably keep the show also to like an hour and a half. There's not a whole lot to talk about. I feel like the last couple of weeks have been a little light on like the Disney and Harry Potter news. So we're going to start with some Disney news and then move on to some Harry Potter news. So I would say the first thing I want to talk about, it was kind of announced later in the week last week. So nothing really new Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday we did have a couple of new items show up on Shop Disney. So the first thing that I'm going to show is pins. So these pins are actually, I believe, part of like the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick and let me see if we can make this full screen. There we go. Ah, wrong button. And here we go. So this is the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary pin trading booster set. I believe this was released at the parks first, and it just made it to Shop Disney on Thursday. It's 19.99. Now, for for those of you that might not know what a booster pack is, a booster pack is typically what you would get to kind of, start a collection. A lot of people that are new to pins, would probably benefit from getting a booster pack, which is like a set of multiple pins. So it's, $20 or pretty much what, $5 a pin. So it's an easy way to get some traders if you want to trade at the parks or with someone else. So yeah, so that's why booster packs are pretty popular. I want to say they're typically popular with like, like children and stuff like that. Their parents want to get them some pins. The booster pack is a good way to go. And I've never really been too fond of the booster packs as far as the pin designs because they're typically very like basic, but I actually like this booster pack quite a bit. I think the colors are so nice. I love Figment. I love Tinkerbell by the Castle. I think it's so, so cute. What do you think about that, Travis? And hey, Zach, good morning. What do you think about this? And what do you think about booster packs too in general?
So I would 100% agree with you. I feel like booster packs are like the gateway into like pin trading and stuff because it's for the value that you're getting versus buying an individual pin where you're going to pay. I think like the cheapest individual pin maybe is like $8 or $9. You're getting pins for $5 a piece. So it's great for people who just want to start and you can use those for trading even if you don't want to collect it. But it's also, like I said, a gateway into like, okay, here's like the first set that I got and it's already a set. So you already have it complete if you wanted to actually collect this. So I feel like booster packs are great, and like I said, I think they're they're great for trading. You know, $5 a pin. It's, you know, you really can't beat that. The pins for me, I mean, they're okay. I don't think I would like collect any of these, but like I said, I just think it's good. It's a good starting point for, you know, for pin trading. And I agree with you as well on the booster packs. Like, I haven't really found any booster packs. I'm like, man, I really like this set. The only one that I liked was there was a Tangled set where it had 4 of them, and the pins were like pretty good quality and had like Maximus, Rapunzel, Flynn, and Pascal, and they were like on like a little castle. Like that booster set came out really nice, but I haven't like, just like you said, I don't really see booster packs that are like that great.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a Beauty and the Beast booster pack. If there is, then I'll probably be like you with the Tangled one. I mean, if there's like a Beauty and the Beast one, even if it's a booster pack, again, nothing against booster packs. They're just kind of like open edition pins that are just, um, just basic designs. But if there's a Beauty and the Beast one, of course, I would get it. But I actually do like this one. And I agree with Lauren too. He said, I'm not normally a fan of booster pin sets like this, but I actually like this. Yeah, I think the design on this one is really cute. You know what booster packs I typically don't like? Let me see if you can guess. These typically come out at the beginning of the year, and I find those like just not appealing.
What booster packs you don't
Yeah. Yeah, they
like?
typically come out at the beginning of the year.
Mm, booster packs come out in the beginning of the year. I don't
Yes.
know. I mean,
When a bunch of
I would
merchandise
just say like,
comes
I
out.
don't like the hidden Mickey booster packs that come out in the beginning of the year.
No, the
No.
dated pins, like the 2022 or 2023.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, those are typically just very basic. It just says like 2022, and there's like a little really basic
Right,
design of
right. I
typically
agree.
one of
I
the
agree.
5 you know. So yeah, typically booster packs are not my thing, but I really like this one. I think that if let's say they would put this on sale for like 50% off,
Right.
like $10, I'll go for it because it's so cute. I really like this.
I would imagine that if you just wait a little bit, I'm sure when you trade around the parks, I'm sure that you would find these on people's pin boards or lanyards if they go back to lanyards at some point. I'm sure that you'd be able to find this.
Yeah, and then let's see here. Christian said, "Where is Stitch Crashes Disney? We're missing the last 3 plushies." Oh my gosh. I know. I keep on checking. I check Shop Disney every day like a crazy lady. Just to see if there's anything new, anything that they haven't announced. I just kind of showed up. And I also checked, the Castle Collection and Stitch Crashes Disney just to see if we have any updates. And it's just stuck in like the September release. And I don't know. The Stitch Crashers Disney has been such a crazy release. What do you think, Travis?
It's been wild. It's just been, I don't know. That's been a crazy release. Like, I know sometimes they get behind like Disney, but I feel like this has kind of been scattered all over the place. They're dropping pins on Shop Disney, then it's in the parks, then it's like you can't find it. It's like, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what is up with that, and yeah, it's just crazy. So hopefully we'll get some like an update that. And it looks like Laura agrees with me too, and I don't like dated ones either. So you see, I don't mind, let's say, a spring 2022 pin or
Right. I
a
know. Right.
yeah, or things like that. But if it's just like with the booster ones that it will say like just 2021, 2022, and it just looks so plain, like no
I'm sure it's
thanks.
just for like memories, for families that visit during that year. They kind of get to
Yeah.
commemorate that's the year that we went or something. So
Yeah, I can see something like that, like I would be into something like that. And maybe if it's like you said, like a memory, like let's say, I've never been to any of the Asian parks or Disneyland Paris, and maybe I might get like one that has the year that I went. Because like you said, it's more of like a sentimental thing.
mhm.
But just as a collector, yeah, booster parks are typically not my thing. But yeah, these are actually really cute. Now I guess now we're kind of moving on to the whatchamacallit, Friday news. But before I get into that, I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen real quick. So have you seen some of like the Disney designer collection, like
Yeah.
pins and dolls that have been coming out?
Hmm.
So the Tiana doll should be coming out on the first. So I think the first is Tuesday. So I just wanted to say that. I know we've talked about the Disney designer collection quite a bit here. Not necessarily my style this year.
No,
Um,
agree.
but
Like,
the doll's coming out on Tuesday. The pins have been kind of all over the place with this release. They are not really coming on the same day as the dolls. They're kind of coming out later. I'm assuming some kind of manufacturing issue. I'm not too sure or delay, but I'm not into. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not like super uh into the designs. What do you
Me
think?
neither. No, I'm just not into it at all. Like looking back at the designers before, like the fairy tale couples, or even the villains that were singles by themselves, or the
Hmm.
princesses that were singles by themselves. Like those pins were just beautiful. They were very well done. The dolls were beautiful too. I'm not a doll collector, but I've seen them in person, and they're like they're really really nice. Which I would
Yeah,
imagine. I think these dolls would be really really nice as well. Like they put a lot of detail
they do.
into these
They
design
do.
collections. So I think the dolls will be better than the pins. Like I just the designs that they did. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care for it at all.
Yeah, I know that Christian had said, a few weeks ago, which I understand, like it's more of like the artist like
Right.
take on like if they were to dress, Tiana or Ariel for like the Met Gala or
r-
some kind of like,
Right.
premiere where you want them to like stand out. So I understand
Yeah. But
the
they should have just made it a single pin just of the character, not with all the stuff around it, like the blocking and the different things. Like just have the character and then kind of style it a little bit differently. Like I think I would have been more all right with that.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm not super crazy, I think that I would still, if they are gonna do Belle, I would probably still want to get the pin just because, that's my main pin collection. But
Yeah. I was
yeah,
gonna
I
ask
don't
you that. I was
know.
gonna ask you, so how do you collect? Like if there's a bell pin, do you just get the bell pin? If it's in a set, like would you get the whole set because Bell was in it? Or like how do you
So,
distinguish how you want to collect like your Beauty and the Beast
so
dolls?
yeah, if there's like a set and it has bell, it depends on how many pins are in the set and how much it is because I'm not
Okay.
gonna spend like $50 in like a pin set just to get one pin and then I'm like stuck with the rest that I might not necessarily want to collect. And I
Yeah.
don't trade too often just because I feel like I don't have time
Uh,
to like, do pin trading by mail.
yeah.
But it depends. Maybe I'll try to trade for it later on. I mean, I am definitely not a Beauty and the Beast completist. There are so many Beauty and the Beast
Do you
pins
want to
out
be?
there. I think it would be great, but it's
Okay.
kind of like
It's
it's
daunting.
yeah, it's tough to be a completist of like something,
Mhm.
like pins, for example, because I mean there's the um regular Disney pins that come out of the parks, the shop Disney pins. There's also Disneyland Paris, Tokyo, like Shanghai. I mean, there's all kinds of like this DSSH or Disney Studios or Hollywood.
Right.
There's so many pins that get released, lounge flight pins, for example.
Right.
But yeah, Travis, I'm gonna need a quick second, real quick. But yeah, what about you? Do you consider yourself a completist of like, let's say, Ariel? I'm gonna put you full screen so
All
you
right.
can tell
Go
us
ahead.
about that.
Go ahead. Yeah, so for me, for how I collect, no, I don't try to be a completist. Like I think it would be cool to actually complete set or complete like a character or a movie or something like that, but there's just so many pins. There's so many pins out there. So I really try to focus on, like my main collections. Like when I started collecting, I was just collecting everything that I liked, everything that I remembered, the movies that I cared about, the TV shows back in the day, the 90s TV shows, things like that. So I would just try to collect all of it. And then kind of once you get going, then you really try to like narrow down like what you really like and kind of go that way. So I really just try to stick with the movies that I like, some of the pieces of movies I like I think I've told you guys before, like in Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean. I think I like to say Caribbean.
Me
Um,
too.
right. So for Caribbean, I only like collect like the pirate ships and the pirate flags. Like I don't really collect the characters from the movies or anything like that. I don't know why, but I like those types of things better when it comes to that. But for like the Little Mermaid, I'll collect Ariel, and then some of the other characters. But so it really, it's kind of like what you're saying, Melissa. It really does depend. Like you have to like really like the pin. Like I won't get a pin just because it's part of a series that I like if I don't like the pin. Like I really have to like the pin. So
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And like I said, there's so many pins released. Like I remember, I think a couple years ago, a few years ago, they had the little princess, like the tiaras, little crowns,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Those were cute. I didn't get any of those, but I thought they were pretty cool.
that's what I thought. Like I feel like they look better with the backer card because the backer card had the
Right.
princess
I had those
silhouette
too.
and then the crown. But
Yeah.
I feel like the minute you took the pin off the backer card, you're like, this could really be anybody.
Right.
I mean, not
That's
anybody.
true.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a pin that I was like, I need to spend $10 on this. So I
Right.
never got the bell crown pin. If I get to trade for it, maybe later on, cool. If not, like I'm okay
Right.
without it. So yeah,
Like you would have to know what their crowns or their tiaras look like to distinguish, which princess it goes to. It's kind of like those thrones. Remember the princess thrones
yes, I
that
think
came out?
I
So
had
so you
some of
could
those.
like
I think
tell with those because of the colors and the design, but the tiaras, like you would have to know, like this is for this person.
yeah, like those crowns, like I traded for those. I mean, the thrones, I traded for
Hmm.
those. Like I didn't buy them. So yeah, there's a lot of them out there that I like. Loungefly, they tend to do all these like mystery pins, and
Yeah,
um, yeah, I feel like I like mystery pins. They are fun, but at the
they
same
are
time, it's like
fun,
take my money.
but they're
I
so
just
dangerous because then you get doubles of everything, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Laura says, I love pirates. I have a Jack Sparrow pin from the first movie. The uh Magic
Magic
Kingdom gave
Kingdom.
out free posters of the movie after the Pirates ride. And
That's
oh,
cool.
that's so
That's cool.
cool. Yeah, that is pretty neat. Like I don't collect pirates. I do like pirates, but if I was I do like getting redhead pins if I am
Yeah,
able to get them. Although I prefer redhead as the bride rather than the pirate.
right,
Nothing against the empowerment movement. I'm a woman, hear me roar, but like I don't
right.
know, I feel like the the redhead as the bride was kind of
Yeah,
iconic. So I feel like because now she's been revamped, those pins are like even more,
yeah.
I guess, valuable. So
Right. Have you like when you started pin trading to where you are now, have you like kind of honed in on like actually what you want to collect and stuff? Or were you collecting like a lot of stuff when you first started, like everything?
yeah, so when I first started collecting pins, I always loved Beauty and the Beast. So I was like, oh, Beauty and the Beast, I gotta have it. But
Sure.
oh, I'm at the parks. New limited edition pins are coming out. I need to get them all because they're early and new. So I
Right.
have a lot of pins from when I first started collecting back in 2015 that have nothing to do with my collection. So I have like a bunch of random pins, all of them limited edition. I tend to go for limited edition pins.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have a bunch that are like maybe like the anniversary of like a ride
Yeah.
or of a park or something. So I mean, I think those are kind of cool. So I would still maybe get some of those.
Right.
But yeah, I do have a lot of pins that I don't even know why I have them to be honest. But yeah, as I've been collecting longer, I've been narrowing it down to just really Beauty and the Beast or just like a rabbit or some castles. So
Yeah.
that's typically what I've been going for. But
Sure.
now with the Beauty and the Beast anniversary back in like November, all these spins came out. So I spent
I
like
know.
a lot of money
I know.
on those. So it's like, okay. So that's why it's good, you guys. So
You
if you
just
guys are
you just got to do it now while it's the anniversary, and then you can ease off for the
absolutely.
next like 5 years or so, and until the next anniversary comes up.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say too. Like, if somebody's just starting to collect pins because they're cool, definitely focus on like a collection, something that you want to collect because it will save you money.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the anniversary and all these pins come out, but it only happens once a year or once every 5 years. Typically, they go nuts when it's like a big anniversary. For like Beauty and the Beast, it was the 30th anniversary. So that's what I mean when it's like a milestone anniversary, you'll get like a lot of pins. But I would say just focus on like a collection or a character, and it saves you money, and it's just fun, to just focus on like something that you really like.
Yeah. So this is going to lead me into a question that I had for you. If you want to, I saw the picture of your Beauty and the Beast board the
Oh
other
my
day.
gosh,
Let me
yes.
tell you about this board, Melissa. I mean, you already know that board is beautiful. It is
Oh,
amazing. So
thank you.
I'm like looking through the pins and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I have to ask you because I picked out some of my favorites, but what are some of your favorites out of your pin board?
Yeah, I'm actually, if you guys haven't seen what Travis is talking about, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys the
It's
picture. So this is,
amazing.
oh, thank you. So I had been looking for a uh a big pin board for a while, but I don't necessarily it's not that I don't like cork boards, but I like something that has like a door.
Right.
Like this one for example, because I feel like the pins are protected. Sometimes pins can like oxidize a little bit, they
Yes.
kind of so
Absolutely.
I feel like covering them like that, it helps preserve them. So this is actually a like a display case for like a jersey for like a football shirt or like a baseball jersey or whatever, and it also fits a baseball bat. So that's why it's so
Okay.
big.
Yeah, that's a
And
huge
it's
that's a huge box.
yeah, and it's actually deep, which is why you can see that we have like some wishables at the bottom. Because it's supposed to fit a baseball bat. So it has to be, somewhat
Yeah,
deep.
right.
So that's why I'm able to sit those wishables at the bottom. But as you can see, I'm running out of space. I'm gonna take out the cardboard here, the backer card here for this pin set because it has bees and Gaston, but it also has like Aladdin, and it's not doesn't really go. It's just that I thought the backer card was so cute because it kind of looked like one of those like poster magazines, like the BB Bop and Tiger Beat magazines, which was the
Love
whole
it.
point of that pin
Teen
set.
Bop, love
Yeah.
it.
Huh?
It's a teen bop, love it.
I know, right? You know what? Squirrel moment. When I was like younger, I was like huge into the BB Bop, Tiger Beat, all those kind of poster magazines. So I know all about that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I forget how much this was. And as you can see, there's like a little hook right here at the very
Mhm.
top. That's where like the hanger would go
Gotcha.
for the shirt. Um, but yeah, I mean, it I have some extra pins that I haven't had a chance to put in here. I have to remove all the wishables and kind of shift some things around to make room because I have more pins. Beauty and the Beast pins that are not in the box just yet, but these are mainly just park pins. Or let me rephrase that. These are mainly official pins. But I do have some fantasy pins. Like this is a fantasy pin, the snow globe here.
Mhm.
That portrait, I guess, of
And the
Beauty.
horse on the left.
Um, yes, that's a yep, that's also a fantasy pin too.
Mhm.
Beast right here with Belle, that's a fantasy pin as well. I love this pin right here. This is a fantasy pin also. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful pin. So this is a fantasy pin also. Belle reading a book to Stitch, that's a fantasy pin.
Cute.
um, I believe this one with Philippe is also a fantasy pin. So I do have a handful of fantasy pins, and if you guys don't know what a fantasy pin is, it's just a pin that is not uh, officially licensed by
Right.
Disney.
So
Uh,
what's some of your favorites in this
oh
board?
my goodness! And thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. He says I recognize the Artland Neo Nouveau. Yes. Oh my goodness. So we have let's see. I am like looking and see what I have here. Where's the Arlen? Oh, right here. So that was Arlen pin. This one actually is an Arlen pin here, also next to the stitch with the rose. Um, I have so many that I really love. Definitely the stunning silhouette pin right here.
There
I
you
am
go.
just
That's one of my that's one that I wrote down. Listen, that stunning silhouette series. I wish that they would continue that because those pins are beautiful. And I remember when Belle came out, and I was like, "Geez, this thing is just gorgeous." So yeah, that's an awesome pin.
Oh, yeah, I think it came out, like, December of 2017, I think it came out,
Hmm.
something like that. It's been some time since it came out. I believe it was, like, $32 or so when it came out, and that pin is, like, easily $300,
Easy, easy, yeah.
easy $300.
Hmm.
So, let me see what else. I really love all those fantasy pins. I think they are really pretty. And some of these fantasy pins, even though they're not officially licensed, I mean, some of them go for a lot of money
Right.
also.
And some of them look like a lot better than park
Yeah.
releases
Yeah,
or
like
or
this one.
even like soda fountain releases. Like they look good.
Excuse me. Absolutely, like this one right here, the bell. Oh my, that's such a stunning, stunning pin. And it is a fantasy pin. It's beautiful. Let me see.
So the one pin on the top right, I'm looking for that for my collection. That puzzle on the box, that box on the top right, it's like a puzzle Beauty and the Beast set. It's sitting on top
Oh,
of
this
it
one right
with
here.
yeah with the pink box on the top right. On top of
Um,
the black box, on top of the black box on the top right hand corner, there's that box pin set Beauty and the Beast. I believe it's like they're like puzzle pieces. It's
like
like a
this one. I
stained
don't know if
glass.
you can see me moving the mouse. Is this one right here? Like
No,
it's
all the way above that, on the very top to the right, like out of the box, out of that black box on the top right. You see where that pink box is next to your
box.
fig pin up top, to the right of the fig pin, on the very
Uh
top above the
oh,
box.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, the
So
fig pin.
no,
Okay.
no, 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 to the right, that pink box right there. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you know what? I got that through like a Instagram live sale. I think it was through like Dream 499. I got that pin set through that.
I've been looking
And I
for
had
that for a while. It's a really pretty pin.
thank you. Yeah, this actually I forget how many pins it has inside, but I thought it
I
was
think
so
it's
cute.
3 or 4. Yeah,
Yeah, I keep it closed like that, and yeah,
that's
I
cool.
forgot that you were looking, like, outside the box. I was like, "What
I'm
do you
looking
mean, what
everywhere.
box?"
I'm trying to see
I
what's
was like,
going
"What
on here.
box?" It's like the huge box. And you see the key is, like, right there too.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it's just hard to pick. I mean, there's so many that are really, that I really like. Like, this one is, I think this is a Disney Studios or Hollywood pin, if I'm not mistaken, or
Is it
maybe Mickey's of Glendale, I think,
yeah, that
or
yeah, I was there for
Imagineering.
that because yeah,
Um, yeah, I actually
that's
it's
definitely
a
be there.
Thanksgiving pin. I actually got that through the DPV store.
Yeah,
So I missed the original release, but yeah, there are so many cool pins, and of course the Acme pins, which are now Artland. Oh my gosh, there are just so many like amazing pins, and
just really cool.
I'm definitely not a completist, as you can see. This is like my collection. Like I said, I have some other pins that I still need to put in there, but yeah, that's a major squirrel moment. But yeah, I
I just had
love.
to say something because I just thought it was really it was really beautiful. I showed Stacy, she's like, "Wow." She's like, she has a lot of beautiful ones because Stacy's mom is a big Beauty and the Beast collector. She collects
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast and Winnie and the Pooh, and I'm gonna have to show her your picture because she's gonna love it if I show her it.
Ah, thank you. But yeah, I thought that was like a cool way. I've had that box for a while, so I've been slowly filling it up over the years. So, um, but yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I wanted to show you guys. So, now we're gonna go on to like Friday releases on Shop Disney. So we actually had now that we saw the Beauty and the Beast key about a minute ago. So there was actually a Valentine's Day 2 key set that came out on Friday. It's 19.99. And I feel like these keys are they keep on going up in price. I think it's a super 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 cute set. I didn't get it because I've been trying to narrow it down when it comes to the keys that I actually get and collect, but this came out on Friday. It's still available. So this morning I checked Shop Disney. It was available 19.99. Typically when we get these 2 key sets, there's one that's going to be smaller than the other one, but it looks like they both appear to be the same size. Mickey and Minnie Love key set, super super cute. But because I am trying to, be a little picky with the keys that I get, I did not get it. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Nick. Have a great Sunday. What do you think about the key set, Travis?
I think they're cute. I mean, I love the box art on it. I think it's really cute. Really, Valentine's Day kind of encompasses the colors and everything. So I think that's nice. $20. I feel is that what you said? Is it twenty
Yeah,
dollars?
19.99.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
19.99. I feel like that's a pretty good. How much is one key usually? Is one key less than
Um,
$10?
it's no, it's been I feel like it's been fluctuating in between 12.99 and 14.99.
All right.
Lately it depends on the design. So yeah, I mean, I guess you do get a discount if they were to be 12.99 or 14.99 a piece. You get them
Mhm.
both for $20. But I don't know, since I've been more picky with the keys that I get, I didn't get it, but I think it's super cute.
Yeah, agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah, and then let's see, what else did we have also on Friday on Shop Disney? We also had, talking about Valentine's, we had this really cute Cinderella and Prince Charming Valentine's Day 2022 limited release pin. Now, the pin and the keys were released first, I think on Monday through Shop Disney UK, but then we had it in our Shop Disney on Friday. I feel like the prices are starting to go up on everything Disney related because typically limited release pins are around 15.99. This one is 17.99. I do think it's a gorgeous pin. I didn't get it just because I don't collect Cinderella, although the castle looks super cute too in the back. It's cute, but I just didn't get it. And so, what do you think about this pin, Travis? And what do you think about the difference in the price, 15.99 versus 17.99? What do you think about that?
Feel like everything's just gone up, especially with Disney. Maybe they got to recoup. I don't know, but yeah, 17.99 for a limited release pin. It's up there. It's up there. You're definitely right. They were, a little bit cheaper before. The pin itself, I think, is beautiful. I like the sparkling embellishments with the Happy Valentine's Day and the sparkling embellishments on the front with the birds holding the ribbon. I think that's really cute. And I just think the design that they did with this, this looks like something different. Like I feel like the artist who did this was kind of, they're like, let's do something a little bit different. So I really like that Cinderella castle back there. And I think the faces on Prince Charming and Cinderella, I think they did a good job with the faces. So
Yep, I agree with you 100%. And even though it's a Valentine's Day pin, it doesn't have the date on it, or not that I can see on this close up of the pin. So it's not really a dated pin. It's just a really cute
Well, on the
pin.
very back, I'll say 2022 for the copyright thing. So there you go.
True, but no, but I mean, like, on the front, you know how
Oh,
typically
like on
they'll
the
say,
front.
like,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's what I mean. But I agree with you 100%. I think the artist that designed this is a great job. I love that you can see both Prince Charming and Cinderella. I think they did do a really good job with like the faces. Like I said, I do love the glitter embellishments on it. It is such a beautifully designed pin. So if you guys are Cinderella fans, definitely a pin to consider getting. I know that Laura, she does like Cinderella, and she says that is so pretty. So yeah, absolutely super, super cute. So we saw that also on Friday. And now another thing that I wanted to talk about is on Friday, the Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, the first release, which features Space Mountain, was released on Shop Disney UK. No official word just yet as to when it's going to be released in the US. So maybe tomorrow, Monday, we might have, like, a preview or a little hint as to when it's going to drop in the US. But I just wanted to show you guys a little close up of the key. Again, it was released in Shop Disney UK first. It was 25 British pounds. So I'm assuming it's going to be around like 35 US dollars or so. Um, it is a bit pricey, but I think it is so gorgeous. Like, I love the packaging. It's just so, so pretty. I definitely something that I want to collect. It looks like it's metal. I really like this, and I do think this is going to be the hot ticket item for this collection. What do you think, Travis?
I mean, I don't collect keys or anything, but I think it looks pretty cool. I'm curious to see like the size, like how big it is, but it looks like it's a pretty good size from the picture. But I think the details, I like, it's themed for the 50th anniversary, so it has a 50th there. So it's something special. It was made for this 50th, anniversary. I think I agree with what you say. I think it's probably going to be a hot ticket item, for this collection.
Definitely. And I'm curious to see what the other designs. I'm super pumped to see the Pirates key for this and the Haunted Mansion key for this because February it's gonna be Pirates of the Caribbean. So
That'd be cool, yeah. You know what?
yeah.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I really hope that they would like. I hope the keys would be different in the sense of, not like the same design. Like this key design with the Mickey head, and then have different things in it. Like I really hope they would change it for each thing. Like I'm sure they wouldn't. But for example, the pirate key, I wish it would look like maybe like an older pirate key, where it has like the two ends, kind of like the key that the dog was holding in his mouth, maybe something like that. Just like
Oh,
a
I
different type of
see.
key instead of just like the same key, but it's just like different designs. I think that would be kind of cool, but it's probably easier for them just to make the same, mold and change a couple things. But I don't know. I was just thinking like that would be kind of cool to change it up for the different keys.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, but yeah, I do like it. And um, squirrel moment. There's a company called Lidjoy Crate, and they do Harry Potter inspired boxes. So they release these really pretty keys called Alohomora Keys, and they're highly collectible. And this key kind of reminds me of that. I mean, the Alohomora Keys, they have some like little dangling elements and like little charms and things like that. So it's like a
Mhm.
more elaborated, kind of like
Yeah,
sophisticated key, but that kind of reminds me of that. Like those Harry Potter keys, like I said, they're very like super highly collectible. And I think that the one thing that I like from this collection is the key. So I'm really pumped. And yeah, Laura agrees with you too that that would be so cool to have a
yeah.
pirate's key the way that you described it. So
I'm
I
all
am,
about like the variety and just try to like just make it stand out, make it a little bit different, just something because you guys have so many keys right now, and this is different versus those other keys that you just show the
yes.
Valentine's Day ones, because a lot of those are very similar in the shape and stuff, just the colors are different or whatever. The theming is a little bit different. But maybe with these they'll kind of change it up a little bit. I don't know. I guess we'll see, but
Yeah, I feel like they just look like such, I've said it before, it sounds like a broken record, but they are such like beautiful, like collectible pieces or like nice collector
Mhm.
pieces. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting that whenever they decide that it's going to drop in our shop Disney also. So we'll see. And hey, Auntie, good morning. He says, "Howdy, everyone. We'll be house dog sitting for my brother starting Thursday as they are going. Oh, they're going to Disney for a week. That is so cool. I hope they have fun. So another thing that was released on Friday, we talked about Ireland, UK all the time. So Pulse Gallery released these pins on Friday. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I actually ordered my Jessica Rabbit pins the other week, so I cannot wait to get
Yeah, I can't
them.
wait for you to get those. I think they're gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah, so here we have it's like Sorcerer Mickey with Pluto. They are adorable. It looks like the little combo here is sold out or the little duo. Um it with the sorcerer there's a Jessica Rabbit. Oh, they're so beautiful. With the sorcerer hat like that, it reminds me of the WDI pins. You know how they have these like sorcerer Mickey hat pins?
Yeah, yeah.
I think these are really cute. Luckily, I don't collect Mickey or Pluto, so it's not something that I think that I would have to consider getting, but they are really cute. Um, I guess there's not much to this. It's just 3 inches round, limited edition of 250. And as usual, the number edition pins are cheaper than the artist proof or pre-production pins. I mean, not for me, but beautiful pin. What do you think?
Same. I think they're beautiful pins. I'm happy I'm not a Sorcerer Mickey collector,
Right.
but I know a lot of people do collect Sorcerer Mickey, so I'm sure this is going to be something that people will want for their collection. But kind of like we've talked about before with Pulse Gallery and Artland, and these types of pins, they're just like they're really like artist pieces, of pins. They're not just like typical pins. Like there's a lot of detail, a lot of I think thought and design and effort went into it. So really, really beautiful pin. Nothing that I'm gonna get, but just I think it's a beautiful pin.
I agree. I feel like these pins, they are pricey, but I mean, they are like nice collector pieces. Kind of like the key that we were just talking about, where you have the regular plastic keys and then you have this key that is all like nice and fancy and it's more of like a collector item, which that's why it's a little pricey. That's how I see these pins. I feel like these pins are nice
Right.
collector pieces, right? They're
Right.
not like when you go to the park and you get your,
I would think
you
the
know,
majority of people who get these, like they're not getting them to trade. I would think they
right.
would be going into their collection mostly. I mean, I'm sure some people would get them to trade, but I think people who are going to be getting these, it's going to be going into their collection.
Right, and if you're gonna trade these, I'm assuming you would be trading for something comparable.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, I think these pins are like, the I want to say the deluxe pins when it comes to like Disney pins. Like it's nothing against the park pins, your $20 pins, because I have a ton of those. It's just that
Right.
these are like
You can just tell the quality, you can just tell. And that might be because of the size, because I mean, Disney Parks does release some jumbo pins, but
right.
it's just I don't, you can just tell like when you hold one of these pins and a regular park pin, or even vice versa, if you hold like a WDI or a Disney soda fountain pins and you kind of look and compare the details and stuff, you can definitely tell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Not all the jumbo pins through that Disney that releases are beautiful. Let
True.
me rephrase that. Not all the designs look great. So
It's true.
perfect example from my Beauty and the Beast board. That jumbo pin, that was a Disneyland Paris pin that was
Oh,
released to Shop Disney UK.
you told
It
me.
could have been so amazing. Belle's face looks like I don't know what happened to her.
The faces, man, the face. Stacey is a huge proponent of the faces. She's like, if the faces don't look good, even though the pin's beautiful, she doesn't want it. She's like, I don't want it to go. I don't. She's like huge on the faces.
Yeah, like that pin for me was like an impulse buy. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's a Disneyland Paris jumbo pin. I can get it." Oh my gosh, it's like it was like ended up being like 250 with like shipping and the conversion, from like,
Woo!
British pounds to like
Yeah,
US. It was expensive. When I got that pin, I was like, "What the heck? What happened to Belle?"
it's still a
Uh,
beautiful pin. I've seen it before. It's still a
it
beautiful
is,
pin. But I
but
I,
it's like
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
yeah, but what is it called? Like a Monet, those paintings that from afar, they're like beautiful. And then as you get
Mm,
closer, you're like, "Oh." So kinda like that. So that's what I mean. I mean, sometimes jumbo pins don't necessarily mean that it's going to be like,
right.
freaking amazing.
I
Because I
know.
mean, look at this pin. I mean, this is the other one. I guess these would be like kind of like mini jumbo pins in a way. Three
Hmm.
inches round, limited edition of 300. I mean, look at that. They're beautiful pins. It's pin on
Right.
pin design. And I believe it's also it looks like translucent, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's gorgeous. Like
I'm liking these translucent pens that they've been kind of messing around with. I mean, I love stained glass. Stained glass is like my favorite, but
Right.
I do like this kind of. It's not stained glass, but it's like a transparent, translucent
Yeah.
thing. So
I
I'm
re
liking it. I'm liking it.
Me too. Like, the Neo Nouveau pin that, Zach was talking about a few minutes
Yeah, that
ago.
was stained glass. The belly.
Yes,
Yeah,
like those kind of pins. I mean, Arlen has been designing just such amazing pins, and yeah, they're a little more expensive, but I mean, you are really getting a really nice collectible piece. So
yeah,
definitely something to look into if you're heavy into like a certain pin collection, whether it's Jessica Rabbit or Sorcerer Mickey. These
yeah.
are pins that uh you might want to consider getting to
Because they're
add to
really
your
low
collection.
edition, like they're 250, 300. So it's like they're only going to be around for a little bit. And that's the hard thing about these types of pins, WDI pins, anything that's like really low edition. I would say like 500 and under, but really more so like 250, 300. It's like the majority of people who are getting these, they're going into their collection. So you're not really going to find them that often once they're gone because they're going to be in people's collection. So they're not going to come available to trade or people are selling them. So it's kind of like you either got to pull the trigger now or see what happens later. But you might not be able to find them, you know?
Right, which is another thing, what you said, the typically the lower the edition size, I guess the more valuable they'll become because there's only so many available, right? So, I mean, it's not always the case with every single pin because there might be some designs and some characters that are not as collectible.
Right.
But yeah, that's I mean, I don't know. I really love these pins. I feel like they have done a really good job when it comes to designing these pins. And even though they're a little on the pricier side, I mean, I think they're really nice collector pieces. And I have typically been getting the artist proof and the pre-production pins.
So now
But
you're getting into even more rare. So yeah, it's limited edition, but now it's an artist proof of that or pre-production of that. So it's even
mhm,
more on the rare side. So yeah.
absolutely. So lately, oh, okay. Let me rephrase. Typically, when I get pins from Paul's, I get the artist proof pins,
And what's the
but
difference in price? Like $10? Like how much?
like
So I mean that's
between
not
10 to
like
like $13.
like yeah, that's not bad. So it's like if I was getting those and I had the choice between that, I would definitely go. I would go for that.
So I feel like some of these pins have gone up in price too, just like with Disney. Because for the
They're
Jessica
going to.
Rabbit pins, I ended up getting the numbered pins because it saved me like $30 to like
All
get the
right.
number pins rather than the artist proof pins. So I went with those. Because anyway, they're for me. I'm not gonna trade them, so
Right.
it's whatever.
Sure.
I'm so excited for this
I guess
Jessica
you always
Rabbit
have to have a
pin.
goal in mind when you're getting pins. Like, am I going to use these for trading? Am I going to put these in my collection? What kind of value is this going to have maybe later if I need to trade it against something, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Lena. Good morning. Good afternoon. Actually, it's still morning, so good morning to you. So yeah, absolutely. So now, do you have? Oh yeah, I think I talked to you about that briefly. Do we have any other Disney news to cover before we go on to like Harry Potter?
We were talking a little about Figpin.
Yes.
Yeah, so Figpin made an announcement the other day that they're going to be having Figpin exclusives to the Disney parks. So
Yes.
in my mind, I'm like, it was just a matter of time, kind of before that happened because Figpin's been doing a lot of work. They have a lot of Disney pins. They have some Harry Potter pins, which you still need to get.
I
Um,
know. I do.
so I was kind of waiting for that to happen. So I'm curious to see, what other types of Disney pins they're going to have. I'm curious to see, are they going to be limited edition? Are they going to be? Do you have to have a certain score on the app to be able to get maybe some of these pins? I don't know, but they have Orange Bird so far that they showed. They showed Tinkerbell and they showed Figment. So they have those three pins so far that they've shown pictures of that are going to be coming out to Disney Park. So and on Shop Disney. They said both. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna roll out and how that's gonna work with additions and things like that. So really cool though. They're really just kind of expanding, and so I'm into it, man. I have quite a few fig pins already, and I think the app is an interesting concept and idea. And I don't know. I think they're on to something really cool. I told you guys before, which I thought was a really cool thing, is when you collect these pins and you put them in the app, they have like a score to them, so you get like a number, and it can mean whatever you want it to mean. But whenever you collect so many, they'll like drop like special releases, and you can only get that pin if you have so many points in your app. So I was able to get one of the pins. It was a Kingdom Hearts pin, and it was limited edition 500. But you could only get it if you had a certain score on the app. So if you didn't have that score, you weren't even able to get it. So it kind of like gives you incentive to keep collecting and keep adding to the app. So when special things do drop, you have access to actually get it, for cost. Of course, you can get it on the secondary market, but it's going to be pricey.
Absolutely. And I was trying to pull up the Fake Pink website as you were talking about it, but it's funny because in their blog section, it just gives you like a tease, like
Yeah,
bringing awesome to Disney parks and Shop Disney in
I think it's on
2026.
Instagram where they put the
Yes,
picture
I
together. Yeah,
actually am going to share that. But I think it's interesting that they didn't put it up on their vlog, because typically, they would put it there, right? That's where I
yeah.
typically go to get some of the news and
Get
whatnot.
the hype up, get everyone
Right.
excited about it because there's a lot of people
Oh my
that
God,
are like
excuse me.
starting to come into this, fake thing. But look at them. I mean, they look like really. I've said it before. I think for the price for the pins and how they are now, I'm curious to see how much they're going to cost at the parks. If prices are going to go up, I don't know, but they're for the price you're paying. It's a good quality pin.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that these are super cute. I do love Figment, and I think Orange Bird is adorable. And in this picture, you can tell they are fake pins because you can kind of see like the
There's
back,
the stand, yeah.
right? The stand for you can mainly see it on Orange Bird. You can kind of see it on Figment too. And I
Hmm.
do like that it does say authentic Disney pins. So that would be pretty interesting to see if they're gonna have the pin trading logo on the back too.
I'm saying that'd be cool. I'm curious to see like what's gonna happen in the future. Like maybe at the pin events, if they ever go back to in person, would these type of pins be on the pin boards that you trade? Because that would be awesome. These are awesome pins.
Right, and then look at this. I don't collect Tinkerbell, but I think it's a really cute pin. I love the glittery accents on her dress and her little wand right
Yeah, like the
here.
little wand, like that little extra touch. Like they didn't have to put that there, but I think it's nice. It looks good.
Yeah, I agree. I see Lauren's comment. Oh my goodness, I'm like coughing a lot this morning. Oh, and something fell here too. Oh my goodness, hot mess over here.
Falling
So,
apart.
anyway, so Lauren says I want both of these. I love them so much. Orange Bird brings up good memories from me being a kid. Yeah, I think Orange Bird is so cute. Do you have any Orange Bird pins, Travis?
No, let me think. Um, I feel like there was an orange bird and maybe one of the D23, like when you register, when you get a D23 membership, it was in like one of the packages, maybe like in a 4 pin package, and one of them was orange bird for like the welcome gift for D23. So I think I might have one in there, but I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that I think you're right, and I was just kind of looking to see what fell. Oh my gosh, I have this huge that loud bang you heard. I have this huge Disneyland castle pin in like a wooden box, and it literally just fell off my
I thought
shelf.
you were gonna say your bell pin board just fell over.
Oh, heck no. Oh my gosh, don't even say that. Oh my gosh, that box so heavy, and that would have sounded like a bomb went off in here. But like, this is the pin that just hold on, where am I? Right here. That just fell. It was like it's wooden box,
Dang, I think
and
that's huge.
right? I
That's
actually
huge.
traded for this
That's
pin
cool.
with the box and everything. It came in like a wooden box, and I traded
Yeah.
actually a fantasy pin for this one. It was a fantasy pin that was valued in like a lot, and like the person decided to trade me this.
That's awesome. Listen, fantasy pens can be really great too. You know what's funny? I
Yeah.
was gonna I was gonna say this when you were talking about the designs, like how jumbo pens, sometimes they don't translate well, like at Disney parks and stuff. Same thing can be said for fantasy pens because a lot of times, like if you're gonna like pre-order a fantasy pen, they show you the proof, but it's on like paper or it's on like a digital design, and then when it translates to the pen, it doesn't really like come out that great. You're like, oh man, because it looks so much better on the digital version.
Right, I know. But sometimes it's the opposite too.
Right.
Sometimes like
Right.
they actually, it's different. So it looks like we have a lot of love for Tinkerbell. Laura says Tink is so pretty. Zach says the same thing, cute Tinkerbell. And Lena Tink is pretty. Now Lena is saying, I wonder if there will be an orange bird popcorn bucket this year that will cause super long lines at the Flower and Garden Festival. What do you
They
think,
might. I mean,
Travis?
they had the orange bird sipper last year. I wonder if they're going to bring that back, maybe, or maybe they might do something different.
Right? I mean, the Figment popcorn bucket was adorable, but I don't know if I would, want
It
to
was
try to,
it was
yeah.
crazy. It was adorable, but I couldn't like. I was in shock when I saw like the lines and stuff. Where I was like, really? I was like, I can't believe it. But hey, man, if people want it, people want it. I get it.
I know. And you know what? Since we were talking about fig pins real quick before we jump into our Harry Potter news. So, you know that Disney acquired Fox, right? And with
Okay.
that, they acquired a lot of stuff like The Simpsons. So Fig
Hmm.
Pin is also releasing some Simpsons pins, which I think is interesting. I mean, I I don't watch Simpsons too often. I mean, I do when I can,
Right.
but I think that is so cool. So here we have their blog. They actually have the pictures of the different pins. And let's see. It looks like let me see when they're gonna be available. Oh, it looks like it's Wednesday. Boom. So if you guys are Simpsons collectors, I mean, this might be something you might want to look into. So
Right.
it looks like they're mostly commons, and the one that is gonna be a limited edition is Etna Crabapple? Crabapple.
The
Oh,
teacher,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna be limited edition of 2000, and it's gonna be available through select specialty stores, and is guaranteed to never be made again. Homer and Krusty is a Fig Pin exclusive. LE 1500 only available through Fig Pin Direct Play. Um, and again, they're going to be available Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, so 1 p.m. Eastern. So we have the Common of Bart, Ned Flanders Common. We also have Edna Crabapple, which is going to be the Figment edition, limited edition of 2000. And this one, it says that it will never get made again. So that's pretty cool. If you are like a Fig Pin collector, there might be something cool to get. Looks like Chief Wiggin is going to be another common, and then it looks like Sideshow Bob is a common as well, and then Homer with Krusty is going to be a Fig Pin exclusive, LE 1500 pin. So definitely, something different, right? Something
See, that's the
cool.
thing. See, that's the thing where you have to like really hone in on what you collect because it's like I collect Disney pins, but like something like this, like if you like the show or whatever, then maybe you would collect pins like that, or if they came out with, Ghostbuster pins or back to like anything, like if they have licenses to it, they can really kind of go anywhere with it. So it's like it's hard because I would like these pins, but am I gonna collect them? I don't know. So it's like you really have to like focus on what you really collect, and it kind of brings me to like I really hope with Figpin with these things coming to Disney parks, I really hope they do like some characters that you don't see a lot of times. Maybe like those characters that pins aren't really made of that often, like Kita from Atlantis, or just not not the pins that you see all the time, like something different. So hopefully that will translate whenever they come into the parks and stuff.
Yes. And Lauren, I always appreciate you helping me with the pronunciation. So let's see. Let's sound this out. Crabapple. I don't know if I think I made it worse, but thank you. And then Umti is saying, I am thinking this is the second release of
It is.
Simpsons
Yep.
Pip. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Look at you knowing your fake pins, Umti. Lena said, did you know that the creator of The Simpsons is from Hillsborough, Kansas? And he based Ned Flanders on people from here. That is pretty cool.
Interesting.
That is, yeah. And now Lauren says, I kind of want these Simpsons pins, especially now since it's Disney, right? I wonder if they're gonna have like the Disney logo on the back now. Like, I think that is actually really cool. So it's like another way to like bring in people into pin collecting by other fandoms like The Simpsons. I think that all these pins are really cool, but I think that the Etna pin is really cool because they're not gonna make her again. And then, of course, Krusty and Homer. I think that's another really cool one because it's different and it's also Ellie. You guys know that I'm like a sucker for the Ellie pin.
That's it, man. It's
So
Ellie. If it's Ellie, once they're gone, they're gone.
I know. And hey, Lisa, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. So, yes. So, right. So, if it's Ellie, there's only so many of them made. So, once they're gone, they're
See ya.
gone. Right? So we do have some Harry Potter news. We don't have as many Harry Potter news, but we have a couple of news to talk about. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. We're gonna start with pins because I do love my pins. I think we all
Phenomenal.
here love
You
pins.
you wanna know what's crazy is when pins started at Universal,
Uh-huh.
and I think Harry Potter Land had just opened. I traded at Disney. It was Fluffy, the three-headed dog
Really?
pin. Yeah, and it was like I wanna say it was like from the first round of pins they were doing at Universal, but I traded for it at Disney, and the cast member was like, "I'm not really sure what it is, but I traded for it anyways." I was like, so now, Universal's starting to get into this pins and Harry Potter. So I don't know. That was like a little score moment, but I remember that I did have like a fluffy.
Do you
Like,
still have it?
I mean, I'm curious to see what it's valued at now. To be honest with you,
I
no, I don't have it
know.
anymore. I think I traded it. Or I did something with it. I don't have it anymore.
That is so cool though that you got a universal pin at Disney.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
That is really interesting, and, that is really cool, actually. I don't have any fluffy pins, so that is pretty cool, and yeah, you should know what the value is. I mean, if you guys didn't know, Travis has a really successful channel called Florida Pickers where, he kinda talks about, his findings at yard sales and things like that, right, Travis?
Yes, I found tons of
And we
stuff.
see the whole process.
Yeah, it's I bring camera with me and you guys kind of see what I pick up and kind of go through stuff. But I'm not this video that I released today, but in the last video I found quite a good find of Disney pins. So if you guys have some time, check it out. I found some really cool Disney pins, which I was really surprised at. Like I walked up and they were just like right there on the table. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go, here we go. That's always like my dream was like, man, I just want to come up to a sale and just have someone who's like trying to get rid of their Disney pin collection. So it was really cool to find it at a garage
That is
sale.
pretty cool. I'm trying to grab the link to your Florida Pickers channel so people can check it out because I mean it's freaking amazing. And I mean it's I was telling Dirk, I was like, you know what? Watching Florida Pickers, Travis's other channel, I was like, it's like watching a TV show. In my opinion, it's like watching what the hell was the other channel? The is it America Pickers?
I think
You
so,
know what I'm
maybe.
talking about,
Yeah.
Travis?
Hmm.
It was something, so I was like, "Is that watching a TV show or like watching like Pawn Stars?" Like remember that show that's in
Yeah, yeah,
Stacey
yeah.
Vegas?
Hmm.
So like I know, I think you and Stacey do like a really nice job. I mean, it shows in like the views that you guys get on your videos and yeah. So I just dropped the channel
Well,
link.
thank you so much.
Hopefully,
I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Hopefully it works because I think I might have yeah, it should work. Boom. So there's the link for our picker. So it's super cool. It's definitely like it to me feels like a TV show because you see the whole process. When they get there, they talk about some like little tips as to what to look for. I remember you said Travis to look for things that are like in their original packaging, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
People who collect stuff like pins or whatever. Like I don't know how you are. Like if you are going to get a pin for your collection, do you want to have the backer card with it?
Yes.
Okay, me too. Like I want to have the original backer card if it has the plastic. Like if it's like a WDI pin, like I want that plastic sleeve with it, even though I could put my own plastic sleeve, but I want it as like as how somebody got it like from the store if it's gonna go like in my collection.
Yeah, same. Me personally, I like it that way because I feel like it makes it more valuable, at least in my eyes. So,
Sure. Same.
and it
Same.
doesn't mean that I'm looking just to get rid of it, but like, you never
Yeah.
you never know.
Right,
But
or if you are gonna trade it at some point, I'm sure the person who wants that, who is gonna go in their personal collection, they would probably want it that way as well. I'm not saying that for everybody, but I would think the majority of people would probably want it that way.
I agree. So that's one of the tips that I picked up from Travis's channel. Look for things that are in their packaging when you go to like a yard sale or a garage sale or whatnot. And it's so cool because you see the whole process when they get there and they locate stuff that is like brand new. And it's just you're like, oh, and then Travis will be like, oh, I wonder if I can get this for like like, I don't know, like let's haggle. And you see the process, and then you see Stacey and Travis kind of like, just kind of like devising their little plan, and then they show you their haul, and then they tell you what it's worth, and then the whole process when they, you know, basically they go and all of these things you can sometimes resell or keep to yourself. So it's really interesting to see the whole journey when they get there, what they find, what they think is a reasonable price for them to purchase, and just the whole process. So
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and ultimately, when you go to these things, like people want to get rid of their stuff. Like they don't want to bring it back, put it in their garage, put it back in their attic. Like they want to get rid of it. So it's just like if it's something that we would want or whatever, and you just try to work it out. But it's fun. It's just crazy to see some of the stuff that's out there, and then when you kind of like look up values on it, you're like, are you kidding me? Like sometimes I'm just like in shock. I'm like, there's no way, but I guess that's just how it. I don't know. It's crazy to see.
yeah, so So there you guys. You have it. You have the channel Stacey and Travis, which is where he does typically like his pin hauls and Disney videos and whatnot, and then Florida Pickers, which is what we were just discussing. So definitely check out both of his channels. And so let's talk about some Harry Potter pins real quick. So Travis, are you familiar with the Bradford Exchange?
Yeah, Bradford Exchange, I feel like they come out with some really cool stuff, but a lot of the time it's like really, really expensive.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
So I know we were gonna get into this, but these are pins on this banner.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
there's so many pins, and I'm looking at the price right now, and I feel like it's a great deal just right off the bat.
so it's like so Bradford Exchange has been doing these pin subscriptions. So this is
Oh, it's
part
a
of a monthly
subscription.
I believe it's a
Okay.
monthly
Okay.
subscription.
Gotcha, gotcha,
So
gotcha.
um the first issue is gonna give you the Diagon Alley pin, Privet Drive, and Harry's Wand. So these are the first three pins you're gonna get. So there's
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So be like five issues? One, two, three, four,
oh.
five. So five issues. So to
So it's
complete your
34.99 per thing?
right,
I got it,
34.99.
I thought it was 34.99 for all these pens. I was like,
I
"Dude," I was
know.
like, "You need to buy this now because it's
Oh,
a great deal."
absolutely. If that would have been the case, I would be like, "Oh, don't, keep an eye out for the unboxing of this." But no. So let's see. 35 times 5. So it's $175 for me to get this full pin set. I think that's a lot. Reason why I'm
It is a
not
lot,
getting
but it would
it.
be cool to display, like,
Yes,
if you had
I
the whole
think
thing. It's kinda like
I
those
agree.
Tiny Kingdom pins where you put it on the map, like, people like to putting those on display. I think that would look really nice.
I agree. I think that the idea behind it, I absolutely love. I just wish it was more reasonably priced. I would say a three pin set, like the ones that you see at the bottom, this
Mhm.
should be like
Do you know what size the pins are?
I do not.
No?
Hey,
Okay.
Cherie. Good morning. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. I don't know what the size is. I forget if it's set on the website. It might. I just think that for these three pins, I mean, I would say because it is a subscription, $15 to $20 will be more reasonable than $35 plus shipping.
Right.
So this is going to cost you more than $175 to complete. I am assuming the first issue will also include the banner. It didn't really, I don't think it said anything like that, but I do love how it would look put all together. I just think that it is
Yeah.
kind of pricey, like you said. They have done this before with they have a Star Wars like subscription also, Star Wars pin set. Yeah, I don't know. I wish they would also give you the opportunity to buy the full thing and then just be like a little cheaper. Like, okay, if it's like 175 total, maybe you can get the whole thing for $100. I mean, that's still a lot.
Right.
But
Right.
I wish they would have an option to buy the full thing at a discounted price and do this every month like that. But then again, if they were to do that, then there would be no sense in just doing the monthly subscription to them?
Right. Right.
So I don't know.
They wanna get you, like, locked in because it's kinda like when you collect sets. If you get the first couple, then then I guess maybe you feel, like, more prone to complete it. Like, you're like, "Alright, I got these 2. I might as well just keep going and just finish it out," you know?
Right. I don't know. I do like it. I just think that it's more than what I would want to pay for it. So unless this goes on sale or something, I would not be getting this. But I do think that it's really cute and that it would look really nice display somewhere for sure. Um, the other thing I want to talk about, so this I actually posted on Monday, and then this actually posted on Wednesday. So this week, I believe Wednesday is the second, we're gonna get a new pin release over at the Wizarding World, like through like the Harry Potter fan club, part of their pin seeking collection. So this is the Hogwarts snow globe. I think it's so cute. So, for people that were subscribed to their gold membership, which they're not renewing anymore, you get early access. So that would be Wednesday, and then Thursday it'll be the general release. There's no price on it just yet, but I could just imagine it'll probably be around like between maybe like nine British pounds or so. So maybe like around like $12 US dollars or so plus shipping, of course. I think it's a really, really, really cute pin. What do you think, Travis?
I think it's really cute too. I love, like, the snow globe effect that it has, and, like, the gold trim. I think that kinda adds, like, the accents to it, so I really do like that. Really, really pretty pin. The pins, like, I know that you go to Universal and stuff. Are the prices pretty comparable to, like, Disney pins? Are they cheaper than Disney pins at Universal when you get Universal pins or Harry Potter pins?
I think they're comparable. The only thing is that From what I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, um, from what I've seen, there's no, like, limited edition pins.
Gosh.
So
Okay.
but what I hear they do is that they're only out for so long until they retire them.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then in a sense, that's how they kinda become limited. I
Hmm.
know they've retired some pins, or they're really hard to find some pins, but they're all kinda like open edition pins, but they're only out for so long.
Gotcha.
I think they are comparable to Disney prices. Something like a little trick is like when you're exiting the parks, there's like, these little shop I think they're called like, I forget what they're called. But they're like
Like a
toward
kiosk? Or...
no, they're like a little store towards the exit, and they have things that are on sale, like clearance stuff. So sometimes they'll put these pins like really cheap for like $3 a piece. So I always check those little stores towards like the back when they're right next to like the gates when you're exiting the parks, whether it's Universal or Islands. And they have like a lot of stuff that's on clearance. And I found pins for $3
Oh, that's
for
awesome.
and keychains and things like that for $3. But yeah, I would say the prices are kind of comparable to Disney. I don't think they're very expensive. I think that they're cute. Lisa says it's a shame that Universal doesn't take advantage of the Harry Potter content and pin trading. I would definitely buy more pins. Um, yeah, I every time I go, if I see a pin that I feel like it's new or has a design that I haven't seen, I might get it. But in a way, I'm kind of happy that there's not like a whole lot of pins that I want to get, or they don't come out with as many because then I would be spending also a lot of money. Not just at Disney, but also with Universal pins. I don't think they do pin trading at Universal. At least I have not seen that, but that would be interesting to do. I would want them to do pin trading because I would
It might
definitely be
happen
into
one
that.
day, as this like progresses and stuff. Because I mean, how long have they really been doing like pins at
I
Universal?
have no idea,
It
but
can't
I
be
have
that long, like 5, 6 years, I mean, I don't know. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's been
yeah.
like forever. But it might grow into something like that at one point.
Yeah, I don't know either, but you know what I have noticed that other theme parks are getting into pin trading because have you
Mhm.
been to SeaWorld recently or in the
I
last
haven't,
couple of years?
I haven't been to. I can't even tell you the last time I went to SeaWorld, but I do know that Busch Gardens has some pins and stuff now.
Right. So
I've seen
same
that.
thing with SeaWorld. They have some pins too. And oh my goodness, Six Flags. Great Adventures.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
also have like pins and they're trying to also push the pin trading game, but I feel like their pin trading game is not that great. And they're I don't know, it's not something that I would collect. Or even Hershey Park. I've been to Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hershey like the chocolate.
Mhm.
And they have pins too. I have gotten one or two pins, but only more of like a little, memorabilia type thing to
Right.
remember my trip. Not
Maybe
so
that's how
much.
like it all starts off, like like a memory, like I'll get the pin because I was here or whatever. It's like they have pins at the Hard Rock Casino or different
Right.
things
Oh,
like that.
that's
It's like,
another thing. Yeah,
yeah,
the Hard Rock pin game is insane.
really
Yes. Oh my goodness. So,
did
I
not know
actually
that.
yeah, so when I went to, Universal and stuff back in, like, November, I got a couple of pins for Lizzie from LizeinDisney, because she collects Hard Rock pins, so,
Mhm.
and they have them all over the world, the different Hard Rock locations, which I think is so cool, so and they do have limited edition pins too. I think I got her, like, a Christmas, Ellie Hard Rock pin, and I forget what the other one was, but yes, their pin game is insane, and
Really?
when you go to the Hard Rock that's there on City Walk,
Uh-huh.
in Orlando, they have this huge wall of I think all the pins that I think they have released in like behind like a glass like window or door, whatever. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Hard Rock pin game is insane. I do have a few Hard Rock pins, but yeah, those are really fun too.
Huh. Never knew that. Interesting.
Oh yeah. So next time you go to City Walk, go to Hard Rock to like a little souvenir shop and you'll see this massive wall like covered, behind like a glass of
Yeah.
all these
All right.
pins. You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, their pin game is insane. So yeah, I feel like that's like the new thing. All these theme parks are getting into like the pin game. Like I said, SeaWorld's pushing that, Hershey's pushing that too.
People like tying things with their memory or like something that they were there with. And pins are small, so it's like if you get it, it's small, something you can put somewhere versus like, something bigger. So yeah, I mean, I think they're, people are onto something, with the pins, and Disney's been doing it for a long time, since 2000. So it's
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, I mean, even since before 2000, because I know they have some pins that are older than that, but I guess
Yeah,
it didn't actually become a thing
right.
until like the 2000s. But yeah, so I think the Disney pin game, it's absolutely insane. Obviously, it's like so crazy. The Hard Rock pin game is crazy, and Universal. I mean, they do have, it just depends on what you collect at Universal, but like obviously the people that are into Harry Potter, they're gonna get their pins there.
Right.
But I think Universal should definitely like up their thing to make it more of like a tradable thing and just do like some more hype around it because I think it could become a huge thing because that's how I get my pins there. Lisa is saying, just waiting for the day Universal Hollywood brings Hagrid's and Hogwarts Express. OMG. Yes, girl, you're gonna love the Hagrid's ride. It's amazing. And Hogwarts Express, oh my gosh, yes, you guys definitely need that. She also says, I regret not getting the Professor Slughorn Snake Hourglass at Universal. So that's what I was just saying. They don't have LE pins, but they do retire them, and then
Are
they
they like
become
hard to find? Like if they're once they're retired, can you find them? Like
it's hard,
are
it's
they hard to
tough, like,
find?
you can maybe start looking at the resorts, just like at Disney, they sell pins at the resorts, and I think that's a little secret that, if they're not available at the parks, go to the resort because not many people go to the resorts to get pins, that's not, like, the
It's
main
pretty
reason.
expensive. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, so that is so yeah, it's pretty expensive to get that pin now if you were to
Yeah,
do
so
it.
I actually logged out and I got it, I think last year or the year before, because I
Hmm.
remember seeing it and I was like, "Oh, I can't find it anywhere." And I found it at one of the resorts. So, Lisa, check if you can go to one of the resorts and they have it. And that could be a way of getting it.
Yeah.
Let me
And
see.
that's the same case as well for like magic bands, certain Disney pins. Like a lot of times the resorts would have them versus like the parks or even like I call it downtown Disney. I know it's Disney Springs, but downtown Disney for me. But yeah, and I found like pins that I just thought I would never find and magic bands at some points that they were there
Hmm,
like at the resort, and I was like,
yeah,
really? So yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And hey, downtown Disney's still a thing in California.
All right.
Uh,
Okay.
Right? T says, I'm hoping to get a pin of my website mascot made this year. You know what? Squirrel moment. I have been thinking about trying to get a pin design with like my logo. If
Do
I
it.
do,
Do it.
yes, I'll definitely let you guys know. Mama J, hey, good morning. Um, oh, Mama J, were you sick? Well, I hope that you're feeling better. But yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like a trick for sure. If you're looking for it is for a Disney pin or Universal pin, definitely check out the hotels because I feel like, yeah, people don't necessarily go to the hotels to get merch. They go to the hotels to like stay there or eat or just kind of like check it out.
Right.
So yeah, that's like the little secret weapon. Go to the hotels
Yeah.
and there you can
And
get.
even for pin trading too. I
Mhm.
found like great pins, pin trading at the resorts. Like I said, they're not doing the lanyard so much now, but if there's like pin board stuff, I found like amazing pins at the resorts versus the park. So
Yeah, like I
you
actually
really never know. You really just never know.
I agree. Like I actually did. I uploaded a video yesterday of my hotel tour of the All Stars movies, and then
Hmm.
there's a section where I show that I found their pin board at their little souvenir shop.
Yeah.
And it was like a little Mickey head pin board, and then it was pretty much like the same as it had been before,
Hmm.
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So the resort is like a little secret
I think
weapon.
Stacey and I have a couple of videos of like some pin trading loops. I think we have a resort run where we go to a whole bunch of resorts and
Oh, that's cool.
we have like a boardwalk loop where we do the boardwalk. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I think that's why pin trading is so fun when you're at the parks because it's like a treasure hunt. You really never know what you're gonna find. Like I found WDI pins on people's lanyards before. Like I found just like crazy stuff, and I'm like, how did you even like get this? Like, and they're like, someone just traded it with me. I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, I haven't found any gems yet. Pin training at the park, but that is pretty cool. Mama J said I have COVID, but yes, getting better. Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely feel better. I had COVID earlier this month, and it was nuts too. So yeah, I hope you feel better. Um, T says if you decide to get one done, let me know. I can help you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. But yeah, pin trading is definitely becoming a thing with like a lot of like theme parks.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner, to be honest with you. I mean, if Disney's been doing it since 2000, Like you would think, I mean, what we're in 2022, maybe by like 2015, maybe like 2010, like people are like, okay, there's a thing here. Let's get on it.
Absolutely. And I do think that Universal needs to capitalize on this and then just make it more of like a pin trading thing.
Especially with Harry Potter, because Harry Potter is
Hmm
a huge fandom, huge fandom. So it's like do it because people will collect that just like you collect the pins. I've had a couple pins. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if they don't do it because they don't have as much room or space to do that. But if they had a certain location to do pin trading, then you can just go there. I think that would be fun.
I always
Because
wanted that for like the Disney park somewhere we could go because I used to have it at downtown Disney, but then there's a whole thing that happened with that, and just like somewhere maybe not like so much like on property, but somewhere like maybe at just somewhere off that you could just go where it wasn't really like part of the park, but it was
right.
like just a known area where people could go to like trade because there's like certain areas like at Epcot there's certain areas where you can go but like at Magic Kingdom not so much like you have to kind of coordinate, but if there's just like somewhere where people just knew like, yeah, this is like, or even Disney was like, this is a pin trading area. It's kind of off.
Yeah.
You guys can do your own thing. Like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, but yeah, I wish that cast members would have like lanyards at Universal so we could trade with them, especially if like, these retired pins,
Hmm.
that would be a cool way of maybe getting them. And that's like
Yeah.
like another thing to do. Although, squirrel moment. So, I don't know if you knew, but when you go to Universal, people hide stuff throughout the park. Did you know that?
No.
So there are a couple of groups on Facebook. There's UO Rocks, like Universal Orlando Rocks, the UO Rocks,
Yeah.
and I think it's universally crafted. So there are people that make Harry Potter stuff or they just make stuff in general or have Etsy shops and
Yeah.
they hide stuff throughout the parks
That's
and
cool.
they'll leave you clues on the group and then you can say, hey, I found it, thank you, or I
Yeah.
found it, I'm gonna re-hide it because it's not really my thing. But yeah, it's cool. I found one thing once. I found it was like a little keychain, but it
Yeah.
wasn't really my thing, so I re-hid it and I wrote on the group, it's I re-hit it.
Right.
So a good place to find stuff is Nocturne Alley, the Wizarding World, and because it's dark, people like hide
Love
stuff
it.
and
I mean, I feel like if I was gonna hide something, that's where I would hide something.
but they're like all over. You can change. You can look at like planters, like where they have plants. They just hide them there.
Cool.
The Men in Black sign.
Hmm.
People hide stuff there. People have found wands. Like a wand,
Yeah.
but I mean not like park wands, but made by someone that they look
Sure.
nice. And
Sure.
there's all kind of stuff that people hide. I haven't found anything, except for that keychain that one time,
Yeah.
but it's definitely fun. I feel like it makes your visit to Universal, like,
Yeah,
extra
it adds on
fun.
like a little touch. I've seen in some of the pin groups I'm in, some people do that too. Like at Epcot, like, okay, I'm gonna put the first clue up, and then you gotta go try to find the pin or whatever, and they'll like leave like 5 or 6, and you kind of gotta they'll like put little clues up, and you gotta go
Oh, I
find them.
didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
and I did one, and like the person just put it up, and I was there like I was like right around the corner at Epcot. I was like in the UK, and it was over by Japan, so I was like cruising over there. By the time I got there, it was like about 7 minutes. It was already gone. I was like, dang man, I'm like people are out here, doing this stuff. But I just thought that was a really cool little touch of magic, kind of like what you're saying. And then back when Sorcerer of the Magic Kingdom was around, which I missed that game. I wish it was still around. People with the cards, Tortuga Tavern, that's where all the sneaky deals go down over in Magic Kingdom. People
Sneaky
would
deals.
put cards like in the fireplace mantle. So if like if you wanted a certain card, like oh I'm leaving these cards up here if you guys need the cards and stuff like that. So that was a place where people would hide stuff too when Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom
That
was
is
something
pretty
to run with.
cool.
Yeah,
And
I hope that they do something and bring something like that back. So I think a lot of people had a lot of fun with that, and it would kind of like if you didn't want to do rides that day, like if you're a local and you just want to just kind of hang out at the park, it was just something extra to do. And I remember when Stacey and I first did that, it was for Labor Day, not Labor Day, for what's the leap year? It was for leap year, so it was one more
mhm,
Disney day, and Disney was open for 24 hours.
that's
So we
cool.
got there like at 6 a.m. and we were there until 6 a.m. the next day. And I just remember like that game had just come out and people were like playing it. And it was just something really fun to do because after a certain point, like you've done all the rides, you've done like, especially if you're there for 24 hours. So it was just really cool to kind of do that. And I just remember people were like, it had just come out. People were like trying to trade cards with each other, like because you could only get the cards if you went if you had an entry ticket, you only got like one pack of cards. So people were just like trading all the doubles and stuff. And it was like I feel like it was something that could have really happened. So I'm really surprised that they kind of stopped it
Yeah.
or whatever.
I
But
have a couple of those cards because when you go to the Mickey Texas Scary Halloween party and things like
yeah,
that, they
yeah,
would give you
yeah.
like a special. So I have a few of those.
Yeah.
Um, but I've never actually played it, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, in these things that people hide, I mean, these are not sponsored by the parks. Like, just people just do it. Like
Yeah.
at Universal, like the park doesn't sponsor it. Just a group of people they
It's
do
cool.
it.
It's
And
cool.
Universal, I feel like they allow it, because
Mhm.
it brings more people to the park. It's fun, it just creates like it's just extra fun experience. But
Right.
I'm assuming the minute people start hiding things like drugs and stuff like that, it's done.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah, it's
you're
true.
gonna leave your little packet of, what's if something like that starts happening, to be like, all right, no
Right.
more hiding stuff in the parks.
Right. Right.
Um,
Well, they'd have to get that through security first. That's why they have the security
true.
checks, right?
True, true, true. But it's fun. And yeah, Laura, yeah, when we went with Laura to Universal, we were kind of like looking, we didn't find anything. So, like I said, I've only found a keychain at one time at Nocturne Alley, but I guess you would have to go like really early, or kind of like be on top of it, But if you religiously like follow like the post on the group, you might be able to find something. Um, but yeah, it's something extra, it's something fun to do. Like I said, if you are going to Universal and you feel like you're ready to hit all the rides, maybe you can start looking for freebies. Like I said, people
Yeah.
hide it
I
everywhere.
think that's like how Stacey and I really got like into pin trading to begin with, is because we're close to the Walt Disney World, and we would go quite a bit. We're annual
Mhm,
pass holders, and then it's like after you've done all the rides and you've kind of done all of that, having like an annual pass kind of frees you up time wise, because you're like, I don't have to do this today because I can come back at a different point. Like, this isn't my only vacation for this year, so you have like that time. And I was like, well, what
mhm,
else could we do that would be fun? And then I got Stacey her first pack of like Disney, like a booster pack or whatever of pin
mhm.
traders, and we just started doing that, and it was a lot of fun, and it was something that we did together, and then it just kind of expanded from that. So,
Yep, that's
yep,
typically how it goes. So yeah,
yep,
so there you have it, guys. If you've done all the rides, you can try pin trading, or if you're at Epcot, you can try looking for freebies throughout the parks. And I know they do meetings, I want to say once a month, if you want to try to trade with some of the people that hide stuff throughout the parks. Like, you have to kind of bring in your own stash or whatever you make or whatever
mhm,
you would want to like hide throughout the park, and you can maybe trade with some of the people that typically hide stuff. We happened to walk into one of those meetings like a year or 2 years ago. Obviously, I didn't bring anything because this was all new to me, and I just saw that everybody was kind of like, it was
right.
almost like going to like a flea market where you just trade your goods for like something else. So it was interesting.
Have you ever traded at Epcot before?
Mm-mm.
Like with people, like who are like kind of, they used to be at the
No.
tables in front of the old pin store, but now they're kind of off to the right, like where the fountain used to be, like on some ledges. Have you ever like seen them there or traded
I
with people there?
have. I have. But I haven't traded like that because I
It's
feel like
always like a
every
gamble, because like, do you want to lug in your pins? Because maybe someone will be there, because you don't really know like who's gonna be there, if anybody. Sometimes there's a
Mhm.
ton of people, sometimes there's not. So it's like, do you want to lug in your pins to the park and carry them around all day while you're hanging out to maybe trade with somebody? So it's like you gotta
Yeah.
weigh it out.
Yeah, so that's another reason why I haven't done it, unless I have my little like bag with me, like in my backpack, or like a lanyard that's like, has some like
That's a
pins that I
decent
could
one.
trade. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I haven't set up shop and like camp there where everybody, because I just, typically when we go, we just want to do our
Yeah,
thing, and if we can do some pin trading, cool, but it's not like the main reason why we go.
sure.
So yeah, so
When we
no, I
first
haven't done
started pin
that.
trading, that's what we did. Like, we would be at the table, Stacey and I, for like, we would get there at 10, and we would be there all day until like 7 or 8 o'clock. And we would just trade with people like at those pin tables at Epcot. It was crazy. I look back at it now, I'm like, how do we even have time to go there all day and just trade with people? I have no idea. I have no idea. But it was really cool just to meet a lot of people, and you traded like a lot of awesome pins and stuff like that. Like people have pins in the park. Like, they bring some good stuff with them, but you just gotta like find them. But that was a good way, because they would come up and they would know, like, oh, okay, these are pin traders, and just crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, maybe one day when we're there for a while, maybe once we move to Florida at
That's
some
what I'm saying. When you
point.
got time, you got a little bit of time.
Right. Because, traveling with all these pins, it's annoying because pins because they're metal. If you have a book of pins, it's heavy. Like you can
Yeah.
knock someone out with it. Like, you know,
Yeah, when I'm carrying
like
them in my backpack, I'm like, okay, man, like,
I
maybe
know.
lighten this load up a little bit.
I know that you go through a security checkpoint at the airport and they stop you like, ma'am, what do you have in here? Pins? What? So, they have to go through your pins, make sure you're not, you don't have anything else. And they'll be like, these are pins. And they look at you like you're just like the biggest dork on earth. Like pins. Yes, they're pins. So then they stop you for like a little bit to make sure, you don't have anything else or then just a really heavy bag of pins. So yeah, it gets a little annoying. Like I say, once you're holding your pin bag for a while, like it hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's heavy, and I don't have the rolling bag like you do, the Zuka bag.
Listen, that Zuka, like after my first pin event, everyone had them like, what is this thing? And then it's like for figure skating, I'm like this is like, I don't want this thing. And then I end up getting one. It is like the best thing in the world, the Zuka. I love it. It's like, it's great. It's
I
like
need to get
stainless
one.
steel, so you can sit on it. It's like really sturdy. It's like, it's awesome. I would like highly recommend
I
a
know.
Zuka, for pin trading events instead of doing like a big like wheelbarrow type thing. It's really small, compact. You can sit on it. It's amazing. I love it. I love this.
Yeah, and just to kind of close up a little bit today, but do you think there's going to be an in-person trading event this year?
I hope so, man. I really do. Like these past 2 years, I didn't do the pin event online thing. I know that you have, but I didn't. The pins were, I just figured I'd trade for the pins at some other point. The main reason or the main draw for me to go to the pin events, number one is, yeah, I get to see all my pin friends, which is great. Trading on the boards is phenomenal, so I love that. And trading with other people in the pin trading area. Like those are the three main reasons why I go. Yes, the pins that you can get that are exclusive to the event is a bonus, but I really go for that because the pin boards are just like, I pulled some amazing pins off those pin boards before. So
Yeah, that's to me, that's like the main thing.
yeah, so
Like,
if that's
what
not
can I
there,
get
it's
off these
like, come on,
pinboards?
right?
Yeah, Zach is saying I use a Disney Park shopping bag for carrying pins through airport security. That's a good idea. At least you'd be like, yeah, these are Disney pins. They're in like a Disney bag. But you know what? I did have my Disney zipper like pin like bag, but they were still thought that I was like nuts.
So what do you
But
think? Do you think they're going to do in person this year? I mean,
I
they did
I hope
D23 in person. Well, that was before the pin event, so still to me
yes.
it makes no sense why it wasn't in person. The
Yep.
pin event. So, but
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if we already have D23 at the parks and the D23 Expo is happening also this year in
that's true,
California
right? Yeah.
in person, I am leaning towards thinking that we are going to have an in-person pin event. Typically, they announce it like in February or so, right?
I think it's like April or May is usually. Well, no, or they might announce it earlier. Maybe it's April or May when the catalog comes out.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
you
what
can
I'm
look at the
thinking because I
catalog.
feel like when they first announced the first virtual event that we had in 2020, we were at the parks and I want to say it was February where they announced it. And originally it was going to be in person, and then
Hmm.
because COVID was just starting and they switched it to virtual and they pushed
Yeah.
it back. Um so I think this is what I could be wrong. What I think is that they're going to announce it in February at some point, and then the catalog is going to drop in April, and that's when they're going to announce when the tickets are going to go on sale or around that
Hmm.
time. They
Yeah.
typically go on sale in the summer, what, June, July, somewhere like that.
Yeah. Something like
Um,
that, right? And then I'm
so
curious to see like, because capacity is going to be way lower than online because all of the events, when the pins come out, they addition them on based on how many people or how much their capacity is, and they're like
mhm.
1,100, 1,300. So tickets are going to be way less tickets if they're going to do in person.
Yeah,
And if they were selling like 4,000 tickets online, I
y-
don't know, man, it might be tough.
you know what? Quick rant right here, squirrel moment. I think that the virtual event for 2021 was overpriced for what it was.
Hmm.
The pins were not that great either.
Well,
So
you can and you can say that because look how many were left over at Epcot when it was over.
I
I would
think that
say
the
it was pretty much almost all of them except for the lower LE ones. Like any ones that were like 1,000 or over were still available.
Yeah, the pins for the event the year before for the 20th anniversary of pin trading, I think were better.
Hmm.
I think they were probably preparing to do an in-person event, and that's probably why the pins were better than what we got last year. The pins
Which
were
leads me to listen, if they do an in-person pin event, they've had 2 years to stock up on pre-production pins and artist proof pins. So those pin boards better be just like loaded up. like
I
loaded up because they've had 2 years off of not, you know what I'm saying?
I would hope so. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're gonna have an in-person pin event this year. I could be wrong, but that's what I think, just based
I think
on
so.
what we've had. D23 Expo. Oh my god, oh my god, what was it called? The one that
Destination D.
that's what I meant. Boom.
Yeah.
Destination D and then D23 Expo this year in California. I think based on that, we might have an in-person pin event. So we'll see. I can't
We'll
wait to
see.
see. The theme this year, it's a little different, but we did see that little
What's
previews.
the theme? What is it again?
One family, I believe. Disney One Family. I know I have the pictures here on my Instagram. I know
Okay.
we got a preview of the jumbo, the super jumbo, and the super jumbo look really nice. I actually do want that super jumbo. I'm actually
They
gonna
released the Super Jumbo for the pin event already of what it is?
yeah, so
Really?
they did
What am I doing? Am I living under a rock over here? What's going on?
I'm gonna share real quick. They did a like a little they were talking about it, about the
Oh, like
new
at the event is when they showed it?
yes, some of
Oh,
those
okay,
little
gotcha,
videos
gotcha.
they show, so I took
Oh,
some
yeah, 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 I did
screenshots.
see this. I did see
So,
this. Okay.
yeah, so these are gonna be part of the mystery pins we're gonna get, which are gonna be based on, like, different languages, and
Okay.
then, these 2, and that's, like, the super jumbo. So,
Okay.
like, it's, like, Walt with Mickey and, like, the carousel. I
Cute.
think it's adorable. So,
It's
for
cute.
people that are, like, Walt Disney collectors, like, collect, just, like, pins that have Walt, that's, like, really great pin to have.
Yeah.
I do like that we have like metal, plus we have like the colors on the back. So I think that's gonna be really cute one. So one family, I'm curious to see because it says Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, and Fox. If we're gonna get a little bit of everything, like Marvel pins, Star Wars
Yeah, they're
pins,
really,
and
like,
some like
expanding that.
Simpsons and stuff.
Right. They're really, like, expanding that stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I feel like I think I told you before. I feel like they dropped the ball on the pins for this past year. With the theme was great, heroes and villains. It was a
Hmm.
phenomenal. Like I thought the theme was okay. You guys are on it, But I just feel like the pins that they released, some were cool, but I think they kind of missed the mark on what they could have done
Yeah.
with the heroes versus the villains.
Yeah, I think that the pin game for that release was kind of, but that event was kind of
Kind of
weak.
weak,
Yeah, so I will see. I'm curious. I mean, we'll definitely have to talk about this again once we hear something about the event, but I am thinking it's going to be in person. And I am thinking if that's the case, those tickets are going to sell real quick
right?
because people
You
from
think they're
all over
gonna
the
do
world go.
the two tiers, like the more expensive tickets and then like the base tickets? Do you think they're gonna
Oh,
do that again?
absolutely. Because even with like the virtual event, you had like
Oh
a
yeah, they did
higher
have that.
ticket. So, like,
Right.
which I mean, I say there was no point to that, but then I got the higher tier thinking that, I mean, they give you more
It's a
stuff with
gamble
your
though, because what if there was like some kind of like release that was only available to those people who had that? Like
Mhm.
you don't know, and you just kind of take that chance. Same thing with
Yeah,
like before at D23 at Destination D, they had different tier
right.
tickets, and they would have like first access to the RSP, or they would have special things for them, and sometimes that would come into play, especially with like the WDI pins that are such a such a low edition. So if there was like 100 of those tickets that were sold, or maybe a little bit more,
Mhm.
and people that bought those tickets did want pins, then as a general admission person, if you want those pins, there's only like 150 left of a 250 edition. So it's like then it even narrows your chances to get them even lower. So it's
Right.
like having even paying a little bit more if you really want those pins, it could be helpful, but it is pricey. It does cost quite a bit more.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna definitely have you back to talk about that when the
I'm
time
here.
comes.
I'm always here. Thank you for having me again on the
Yeah.
channel. I always love talking with you guys, and
Yeah, and then before we go, Travis, what do you
yes,
have coming up, whether it's in your Stacey and Travis channel or Florida Pickers? And are we gonna see any new content on Stacey and Travis?
I'm hoping so. We have a trip planned next month, and hopefully that will all pan out. So I'd like to get some more content on Stacy and Travis. I told you before, Melissa, like I'm really kind of focused on this Florida Pickers and just trying to really grow it because we just started it in August, so it's grown quite a bit. So I'm just trying to just ride this, however it's going to take me. So I've really been trying to focus a lot of my time on the Florida picker stuff. But I do miss, making a couple of my pin videos, and I've gotten so many pins since, the last time I made a video. So it's like I have stuff that I'd love to share with you guys. So, I need to maybe just tap into that real quick and, get a video out for you guys. But
And where are you going to Disney? When in February?
No, in March, sometime in March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're talking about it because I think Flower and Garden starts in March, which is one of our favorite festivals. We love Flower and Garden, Food and Wine, Festival of the Arts. I don't think we're gonna get to Festival of the Arts this year. That's a short one. I think it's only a month long.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so but Flower and Garden is a good 3 months, I think, and Food and Wine is usually they haven't announced. I don't think they have announced the dates for Food and Wine yet, but usually that one's pretty long too. So hopefully we can get over there. And the weather, in Florida, I know it's cold right now, but usually that March time, is pretty good for weather wise when you're outside and having drinks and eating. Because sometimes when you're in there in the summer, and because I think Food and Wine started in June or July last year, like I don't know, man, eating food when it's like 95 degrees outside, I don't know, it's a little rough.
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh, I'm like melting.
Right. I'm like, oh, so the weather definitely is key. That's why Festival of the
Mhm.
Arts is one of our favorite festivals because the weather is really, really great. And usually the beginning of Flower and Garden Festival is really nice weather too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing some pin content and Disney content there, and definitely,
Yeah.
with Florida Figures, you're doing such a good job. I mean,
Thank you.
for like when I say such a good job, it's like impressive. Like you started this channel in August, and you have
Hmm.
over 5,000 subscribers already,
I'm
and
going.
you're
I'm
I
trying.
know, it's crazy, like, so you guys definitely check that out because it's really good, and then, yeah, as far as what I have coming up in my channel, let's see, Sunday's my filming day.
Yes.
So,
Right.
let's see, I have, a Loungefly, purchase to show, a couple things that I got from
All right. Side note,
Loungefly.
real quick, because I just remember I wanted to say something about Loungefly.
Yeah,
Did you get the Beauty and the Beast pin, right?
yes,
Okay.
the one that opens up.
Yeah, the one that opens, yeah, the castle one.
Mhm.
So what do you think of the new wrapping? Because it's like it was like sealed. It was like vacuum sealed, like saran
So
wrapping.
I haven't even opened it. So
I
I
haven't
have the
opened mine
box.
either.
Yeah,
So
is it here? It's somewhere here. But I haven't looked at it too much, so I can just kind of like looked at it during my video and kind of like, but I haven't like looked. So I'm
it makes me
curious.
like I'm like part of me likes it because it's like the other ones when they came was like in a big plastic bag that just folded over and kind of taped shut, which it was whatever. Like I liked it, but at least you have the opportunity to pull it out and like open it and like see like how the pin is because I
Oh,
don't
I
know
see
if
what
it.
you mean. I'm like looking. I'm like, what is
Oh,
he
it's
talking
okay.
about? It's like, oh,
But
okay.
but
So
now it's like
I see what you mean. Like
it's like
it's like
shrink wrap, so, like, you would have to cut
yeah.
it open to even look at it. Because a lot of times with those bigger pins, when they're traveling, they,
Mhm.
like, can, like, mess up that backer card, get really loose, maybe bust open or something like that, so it makes me feel like, I don't know, like, if I had to return it for some reason because it was busted, would they say something because I had to actually cut it open to actually look at the pin versus before you didn't have to? Like, is that, like, some kinda thing they're doing? Like, I don't know, but it
Interesting.
makes me like, cause I wanna look at the pin, but I don't wanna cut it open either
I
to
see.
look at it. I'm, like, on the fence with it, so I was curious how you felt about it.
Yeah, I hadn't really looked at it because, like I said, I got it and I kind of put it to the side so I can do
Yeah,
all my
sure.
examining during the video. Oh no, you're fine. But no, I mean, now that I look at it, it's true. I don't know if they're doing it like that because it's more cost effective for them to do it that way, or maybe because I'm sure they've had a lot of returns because
Right.
some
Because 'Cause
pins
they're
have
heavy
been.
pins, and they'll, like, bust that backer card if they're, like, jumping
Mhm.
around a lot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I do like this because I feel like it preserves the pin a little bit better.
Mhm,
So maybe it could be just like a way of them trying out and see if it helps with the fact that some of the pins have been damaged to
mhm.
kind of control that, maybe like a quality control thing. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, but I think it's so pretty. I'm
It
excited
is
to like
pretty. When I
open it
saw it, I
and
was like, "Stained glass, I'm on it, I'm about it," so
yes, absolutely. So yes, I'm actually gonna do a video on that, and I actually got my Quibbler purse, my Loungefly Quibbler purse. I actually ordered it through Entertainment Earth.
right,
Um,
you were saying that on the last video with Brittany,
mhm.
when she was like, because she got hers, and you're like, "Well, I ordered mine, but I
Oh,
haven't got mine yet."
my Siri's talking.
Oh, okay,
I know. So I literally just got mine like a couple days ago. So,
cool.
and it's like it's Entertainment Earth box, but of course it is a lunch flight item. So I'm excited to like open it. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. So I'm gonna do that today. I
Can we
think
be
I
can we be expecting any more with, like, the crystal stuff?
Mhm.
or whatever,
Yep.
because I told you before I thought that was awesome. So that
Thank you.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm planning. I have an idea for something that I want to do. I'm trying to like add it to like my weekly content. So instead of
Hmm.
doing 2 videos, doing three, and maybe using Mondays as like my crystal and kind of like different kind of videos day.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about filming one about like what to do when you first get your crystals, like the three things that I do when I get
Sure.
them.
Okay.
So yeah. And just, like, I don't know. So I that's something that I'm kind of working that
Cool.
I think I might do for tomorrow. So we'll see. And then I
All right.
still have my Harry Potter advent calendars to open because I haven't had a chance to because I feel like December was nuts. So I meant to do it in December and I couldn't. And I meant to do it right after the holidays and I got COVID. So
Right.
like I didn't get a chance to. So I have a couple advent calendars that I do want to open. So those are the things that I have coming out this week.
Awesome.
Laura. Yay, crystals. So yeah, just something different. So yeah, but Travis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And
Yeah.
as always, we love chatting with you, love chatting with you. Because
Thank you
we
so
also
much.
have like similar like opinions on things and
Yeah.
kind of like
I'm with you.
understand what each other means, like by something. So
Right. Right.
absolutely.
Thank
So
you so much. Yeah. Like I said, I always love coming on here and chatting with you guys and talking about pins and collectibles. And like I said, I learned a lot of stuff with like Harry Potter and stuff like that with Universal. So it's cool. Like I'm always learning something too. So
thank you.
mhm.
Yeah, well, you guys too. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody in the chat. Jody and Laura, Zach, good to have you back. Mama J, hope that you feel better soon. Thanks so much for being here. Lisa, of course. Cherie, Lauren, Lena. Let's see. Am I missing someone? I think we pretty much covered everybody. Nick, Movie Mania Nick, he was here earlier today. If I miss you, I'm so sorry. And of course, Mac Thursday were here earlier today. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a lovely Sunday, a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Bye. Stay warm.
Bye.